Hello and welcome to Views of the News. I'm Amy Simons, and with me are Missouri School of Journalism colleagues Mike McKean and Earnest Perry. The rumors swirled for much of the last week after an exclusive in Politico last Monday that David Gregory was out at Meet the Press. Thursday, it became official. Chuck Todd would take over as moderator of the network's flagship political talk show effective September 7th. Andrea Mitchell filled in this past weekend and offered this tribute to her colleague.
On Thursday, David tweeted, "I leave NBC as I came, humbled and grateful. I love journalism," he wrote, "and serving as moderator of Meet the Press was the highest honor there is. I have great respect for my colleagues at NBC News and wish them all well. To the viewers, I say thank you." As David leaves NBC News for his next adventure, I will miss him as a daily colleague, but I know he will always be a friend.
It felt more like an obituary than it did a goodbye to a departing colleague.
I had to keep from gagging. I mean, frankly, that was a nice little bit of spin there. But David Gregory has been on the outs with NBC News as the host of Meet the Press for months and months and months. The ratings have been in terrible decline. The problem is, even though Chuck Todd is more respected among Washington journalists, and maybe he's a tougher interviewer, I don't know if anybody can resurrect the Sunday morning talk show.
Yeah, I think all of them are having issues. But when Meet the Press its ratings begins to dip below CBS and Bob Schieffer, which had been, I guess, number 3 for forever, you have a problem. And as Mike said, people saw this coming a long time. So I think the way in which they handled it could have been a little bit better. But it was going to.
Let's talk about how that happened, especially in the leading up to Sunday morning's broadcast. David Gregory wasn't given an opportunity to say goodbye. How much of that may have been the network not wanting to recreate the mistakes we saw on air with Ann Curry 2 years ago?
There's no loyalty between corporate employers and even high-profile journalists like David Gregory on our talent these days. So I'm not surprised by it. I mean, the bigger problem for me, and the reason why I said I don't know if anybody can resurrect the Sunday talk show, you got 2 big problems going forward. One, the sources, these Washington politicians that have been the bread and butter of these shows, and the reason those shows existed for years and years and years, they have figured out how to spin their message no matter how tough a question you ask. So that's problem number 1.
Meet the Press is now talking points as opposed to an actual debate or a discussion.
And the second problem is that the producers of these shows, they actively court conflict. They want more heat and not more light. And unfortunately, the reason a lot of people like me from the days I was in high school watched Meet the Press every single week is I wanted to learn more. I wanted more light, not more heat, and we're not getting that.
I mean, and it goes back to I think something you pointed out, Amy, which is you're not getting the tough questions, the questions that really get at the heart of the issues. It's more of this sort of back and forth, give and take kind of thing where if you jump from one little bitty conflict to another little bitty conflict that never really provides the whole context of what's actually happening in our political life now. And you see more and more, it just builds more and more of the polarization that we're seeing across the politics as well as across media. That we see on cable news. I mean, it's just one more cable news show.
Okay. Well, you can read more about this topic and others we talk about on Views of the News. Check out our links blog under the Programs tab at KBIA.org. Like us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter. Our handle is @ViewsOnKBIA. They're all great ways to watch and listen to our full program again. Leave us comments, questions, and see previews of what we'll be talking about next time.